everybody, so today I'm going to be doing a review and first impressions on the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation and Primer. I have a sample here and I got it from Sephora and it is the shade medium, which normally would be too dark for me, but I do have self-tan on right now, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to try it out. I am going to show you myself applying it and then how it kind of wears throughout the day, but I thought I'd just start off with some quick information about it right here from the website. So it comes in 19 shades, which is a very large selection, lots of different undertones from yellow to pink, and it ranges from really fair right up to deep. I'm just gonna hold my laptop here so I can read it. It says a high pigment foundation for full coverage that leaves a long-lasting, beautiful finish, and it is free of parabens and synthetic fragrances, which is great. And lastly, it retails for $42. However, that's Canadian, so I'm assuming it would be less in the US if you want to look it up. All right, so to start off with, like I said, it comes in two little bubble packs like this. I am gonna use the primer for this first impressions. Usually I don't, because I want to see how well the foundation does on its own, but since it kind of came in its own little duo pack, I figured why not try it out. So it says the Lock It Featherweight Primer and Base. Just reading from the little card here, it says that it's oil free and hydrating and weightless. I really appreciate that it's oil free, so that's good. I'm just gonna take a little bit with my fingers. It looks white like so. I'm just gonna apply it to the areas of my face that tend to get the oiliest first, so right down the T-zone, and then kind of spread the rest out to the rest of my face. I kind of like this primer. It's more like a lotion. It's not silicone-y at all, which I like. And it's seeping right into my skin. I don't think it has a fragrance, so that's nice. And it does feel very lightweight, so that was nice. Alright, so now for the foundation. Like I said, I got the shade medium, which would normally be too dark for me. Let's take a look at the color here. Alright, I don't think it's going to be too dark. It's not very dark for a medium, which is nice. Now there isn't very much in this package here. Usually for a foundation, especially a full coverage one, I'd be using a beauty blender or a brush, but because I can't really control the amount of product that I have, I figure I'm just going to start with my fingertips so I can make sure at least I cover my face for this first impression. So I'm going to rub the product together and then again start in the middle of my face, kind of like I would apply a BB cream. Wow. Definitely full coverage, that is for sure. And a little bit of product goes a really long way, because you saw how much was on my fingers. I can pretty much do the whole bottom of my face with that amount, and the color is really great. As far as using my fingertips, it's blending in really nicely, it's smoothing out really nicely. That could be the primer as well. It's not catching on any dry patches. I'm really impressed so far. Just for reference, so from my eyes down, I have put on it's a light layer, but it's really high coverage, and then my forehead's not done yet. So color match is really good as well. I need to bring it down my neck a bit. So I'm just gonna use a little bit more on my forehead and my neck, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so here's what it looks like from afar. As you can see, it matched really well. I'll come in close so that you can see it up close. And I would definitely call this full coverage. This was just one light layer, so I can only imagine if you were to put on more product how much more full it would be, but for me that's pretty darn full coverage. As for the way it feels, it hasn't completely set yet, but as I kind of added more and blended it, it didn't get weird, it didn't get sticky, so you can keep adding more if you want to. The finish is, I guess, like a natural skin finish. It is not matte at this point, but it hasn't completely dried. You can still see glow, but it's not dewy as well. I'm curious how the rest of my makeup applies, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and then show you what it looks like. Alright, so here I am with the rest of my makeup on. Everything went on beautifully as far as concealer and bronzer and blush. I don't have any highlighter on, but do you see that glow? And I'm not hot right now, so it definitely has a natural glow to it. It is currently 3:23, which is way later in the day than I would normally be doing a review like this, but it is what it is, so I'm going to show you what it looks like now, and then I will check in with you at the end of the night. Alright, so it is now 7:41 p.m., and I have not touched up my makeup at all. And I'm just looking at my mirror down here. I don't know if you guys can see the amount of glow I have on. Lots right here. It's like almost greasy, which I don't know, I thought this would be more of a matte foundation, but it's definitely not. My chin's pretty glowy, my forehead, I'll come in so that you can see it. My blush and bronzer has stayed on really well, however, and let's just look up close. It hasn't really broken down anywhere, which is awesome. So I think if you have dry to normal skin, you'd really like this. If you're looking for something full coverage, I mean, it's really nice as far as coverage goes, but if you're more on the oily side, you're gonna have to blot throughout the day. Maybe use a more oil controlling primer, so it might have something to do with the primer because it was like a hydrating primer. I'd be curious to try it out actually without a primer or with a more mattifying primer, but I think it looked beautiful. How many hours was that? Not that many actually. That was only like what, 4 or 5 hours? Yeah, as far as oil control, that's not really good at all, but like I said, as far as the finish initially and the coverage, it's really nice. So that's my review. It's kind of, there's pros and cons. If you have any questions, definitely let me know, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!